The Performer's Prayer. We stand before you, you stand before us. This is a situation known before. The performers, the audience, the hopeful and the hopeful. We know what we want to do, you know what we actually do. Be gentle on us, for we are lost like you. We are searching like you. We are here because for this short moment in time, it is our turn to stand up here in front of you, the audience. This is our moment to shine or not. Time will tell. This moment will pass. Soon it will be your turn. Maybe not on a stage, but soon it will be your turn to shine or not. We stand before you now because this is our turn. We are scared, we are nervous, but our job is to do the best we can. We wish to shine. Be gentle on us, for we are lost like you. And then we turn and I recite alone in silence the beauty of poetry. The beauty of poetry is that you can take a wasted year or decade and in 15 minutes, provided you have kept your brain in gear, can scribble a few lines that justify everything, that explain everything, that glorify everything. And an idle, useless life is suddenly transposed into an intense, compressed lifetime of dedicated work and study and research. Hurrah! Hurrah for poetry! Poetry is sometimes a poet's best friend.
Subconscious thoughts, they become conscious. When we think about conscious thoughts, they remain conscious thoughts until we are done with them, and then we forget them. Or if there is a complication of some sort and we can't bind them, then they become subconscious thoughts. Some subconscious thoughts remain out of our ability to think about them. These are called real, deep, dark, secret, subconscious thoughts. There are good thoughts and there are bad thoughts. Sometimes bad thoughts slip into our minds without us thinking about them. Then we have to have good thoughts, the battle against these bad thoughts. Our brain is a war zone. Our brain is a war zone. Our brain is a war zone. Shot at the beginning of the the old days, people thought the world was flat, then we thought the world was round, now we're not sure if there's a world or not. We can't even be sure that we exist, or maybe we exist in 1,000 places. Science and art have changed places. Scientists are hung in the galleries and artists are hanging themselves all over the place. We are lost in the void again. Our journey has been from uncertainty to uncertainty. That's what thought does for you. Thought is dangerous, but we can't stop. We have to think. We must think. Thought is all we've got. So think, 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 think. When you don't know what to do, think. When you think you know what to do, think. When you have a silly thought, think. When you have a self-detrimental thought, think. When you can't think, think. Thinking is all we can do. When we think we can't do anything. One foot in the gravy still, as things collapse, we carry on as best we can. As youth subsides, we jolly well get to it. It is all we can do. There is no choice. If we have to screw our head back onto our neck with a rusty bolt, we will do it. A history of thought is no more than this: the desire to achieve and retain the ability to think freely, unless the price is too high, which sadly has been the case with many a brave soul. May goodness bless them. And may we have the strength of mind to emulate them should our moment come. Mercy preserve us. What can happen is this: thoughts are dangerous, they lead to action. And action is dangerous if your thoughts are tending in that direction. A brain is like a watch, it watches over us. It has a face, it has a case. A brain is like a watch, it records time as it passes. A brain is like a watch, it has two hands. A brain is like a watch, it works forever till it stops. A brain is like a watch, it has an alarm. A brain is like a watch, it rings bells. A brain is like a watch, it can get overwhelmed if you overwind it. A brain is like a watch, if you run down, the battery is low. Or if you ignore it. A brain is like a watch, you can lose it. If you don't watch out, a brain is like a watch, you can wear it on your sleeve. A brain is like a watch, it can go too fast. A brain is like a watch, it can go too slow. A brain is like a watch, it can stop and start, it can be wrong. A brain is like a watch, if it stops, it needs attention. A brain is like a watch, when you go to sleep, it still works away. A brain is like a watch, when you pay it no attention, it still does its job up to a point. A brain is like a watch, you can forget to move it forward. A brain is like a watch, you can forget to move it backwards. A brain is like a watch, you can open the case and see it at work and it still knows nothing. A brain is like a watch, it can be stolen. A brain is like a watch, it can be copied. A brain is like a watch, it can be smashed. A brain is like a watch, it can be shaken. A brain is like a watch, it can be thrown away. A brain is like a watch, it can get wet. A brain is like a watch, it can get sodden. A brain is like a watch, it can be exchanged for a better one. A brain is like a watch, it can be repaired if it breaks down. A brain is like a watch, some can be seen in the dark. A brain is like a watch, it can be trodden underfoot. A brain is like a watch, it can be temperamental. A brain is like a watch, if you listen to it for too long, it can drive you mad. A brain is like a watch, if you ignore it, you can miss everything. A brain is like a watch, sometimes it doesn't know if it's day or night. A brain is like a watch, sometimes it doesn't go into alarm when it should. A brain is like a watch, sometimes it does go into alarm when it shouldn't. Sometimes it goes into alarm and we don't heed it. We do not respond to the awaken call. We sleep our way through it. It rings another alarm. We don't heed it. It rings again. We don't heed it. It rings again. We awaken too late. We have missed the boat. It is too late. We cannot go back. We're out of time. A brain is like a watch. The battery corrodes and ruins everything. A brain is like a watch. The spring is gone. There is no balance at work. A brain is like a watch. You can get Alzheimer's disease. It works no more. It just fades away. A brain is like a watch. Time is on its side. But a brain is like a watch, and then it conforms to its idea of what it does. A brain, although capable of endless choices or combinations and permutations, conforms in the most part to what we expect of it. A brain is like a watch that it ticks along with time, for the most part glibly conforming to its function as we see it. Although capable of endless choices, a brain is like a watch, it ticks along Life is an open void in which anything is possible, but our brain ticks along. It can play games like asking, does a chair exist if we can't see it, but knows that if we miss the bus, we are late for work. The brain is like a watch, it tells us what we need to know. We set our day by it. It comforts our view of ourselves, each other and the universe. And yet it knows better. A watch doesn't know better. Give a watch to a fascist or a communist, a Christian or a Buddhist, it works just the same. It ticks along. By choosing either fascism or communism and so on, a choice has been made, but it is the choice of the strap, the colour of the strap. The brain is like a watch. It ticks along in the world it knows. You can set your watch, you reset the time, and it makes a change, and then it ticks along. A brain is like a watch. We set the philosophy, and then it ticks along. But a brain is not a watch. A brain is capable of anything. Look, yet we are limited to our discoveries of its possible use. A brain is like a watch that it does its job as it understands it. It ticks along into a thing called time, even though it knows that time does not exist. There was no time in 7 days to make it. A watch is limited to its function, and a brain is limited to our understanding of its possibilities. A brain is like a watch. It is made by man to tell him what he already thinks he knows. Time waits for no man, to watch it not matter. Time marches on, not forward, not backward, not upward, not downwards, not marches, not on time. We are not here. A brain is like a watch and that it does not exist. A brain is like a watch and that it does not tick along with something it races ahead of sideways. A clock is a tick. A cuckoo is a pretty clock. It sings as it flies. A wrist knows the time, a heartbeat that has stopped and pulses confused as a guillotine. We explode into nothingness and make sepulchres to prove it. We are vibrations of opposing energy eating breakfast. A brain is like billions and billions of watches started at random during a trillion big bangs, so heavy we can't lift our head to see the sun set at sunrise. A brain is like a watch, a brain is like a watch, a brain is like a watch, a brain is like a watch. Calling Miss Holiday, call for Miss Holiday, ode to Miss Holiday. To Billie Holiday. Kiss. Pardon us for being so bold, but we would like to say, Miss Holiday, that we think you're lovely. Yeah, Billie, we've danced and sung with you. You know it, lady, day and night. We've danced and sung with you, oh yes we have. On the nights with your sweet voice wafting across the rooftops, you and Prez giving it all the magic, giving it the works, and we would laugh and shout our stuff to the flashing beacon on the crossing. And we had a friend who had all your records when we were younger, and if we met him in the street by chance, we'd say, can we? Can we go back to your place and play a couple? And if his wife was out, he'd say, well, only a couple, because I've got a lot to do. We've lived our lives with you, Miss Holiday. It's always been you. For as long as we can remember, we've loved you, because you're great. Your voice in the 30s was so pure, like nothing else in the world, so pure it was. As pure and as great as a great painting, as pure and as great as a great poem, as pure and as great as a great sculpture. Billie, we take our hat off to you and our hair and our skin and our head. We love you. Ah, Billie, sing it, Billie. Oh, Billie, sing it, Billie. And we, in beautiful frustration, will bang our fists on the table and knock over the candles and the empty bottles. She's gone, yet her voice remains, and she has left the best of herself forever and ever for us, and born too early for the likes of. She's gone and all that other stuff had to go. We have her on record, she lives happily in our ears. So long as there is electricity or something similar, she will sing for us. So long as there are record players or some new sound converters, she will sing for us. So long as we have ears and hearing, she will sing for us. We throw ourselves in your grave. We rub the dirt of your going in our eyes. We float ourselves in your song.
We rub the balm of your being in the temples of our doom. We throw ourselves in your grave. We rub the sorrow of your soul into that of our own. This curled up, once shiny pipe, we blow and blow and blow. This curled up metal horn of a grind machine, pushing down on buttons with punky pillows underneath. We think of her and blow. We screech, move our fingers, blow and move, and then deep and loud she goes. The noise that is us in the wrong place. Music for Lady Day, music for her ears, though they are in the wrong place. We cry in one blast and laugh in the same. We blow our love and doubt out of our pouted mouths. Others have done it for her, we know only too well, but in their blowing there was no me. Not a puff of our breath went through those tubes. It was not our breath that made swing or made stir the magic. Not even half a balloonful of our party being. With this we put that to rights. With that we put this, our right hand down, left behind right. We leave behind our homage, with the air from us blown from sighs and kisses, noise in the right place, music for Billy, tears in the right place for the right person, and raucous laughter sitting high above the stage, and love singing idly to herself, dreaming. This thing by the neck, a dead stiff thing, frozen in the memory of a million chords, formed by as many well-loved fingers, and to the endless possibility, the mindless permutations that an axe is, as the phoenix rises, we add our own. Passion shapes passions with our hands, that change in front of our very ears, and memories of things we never knew come back in sweet reminiscences, and the future is held and foretold in the wild dance of our fingers. We wail and strut, we press things on the floor that alter every sound and spin around. We fall backwards into the drums and back on our feet. We sway, we bow up and down. We do these things in honor and in memory of a great lady. Ah, you know who she is, you know who we mean. We twist and turn, we're solid gone. We know not where we are, we know not what we do. We reel. We fall backwards into the drums, totter backwards into the drums. So much respect have we for the great Lady Day. Our skin tingles, it bursts into pictures. What cannot be forced through these poor speakers erupts into our arms and torso. See for yourself, here's Lady Day. Check it out for yourself, here's Mr. Jimmy H. We just couldn't contain them in our being, but look no further. An eagle or a butterfly, all too much for a man to hold in his chest. They cannot be repressed, they must out, made for each other. Our young right arm and the Lady of the Blues. For in ink and in song, her spirit has blotted in the nicest possible way our copybooks forever. We sit and bang. We did it as kids. We'd sit in the garden and bang and bang and bang. Dustbin lids, thousands of buckled dustbin lids litter our mind. We sit and bang, crash and smash in symbolic fury. Our feet know not what our hands are at. Our hands know not what each other are at. We're on a roll. Thunder from distant mountains flows through us and rumbles on. Lightning strikes our mind and flashes through these buzzing arms. Mad winds smash through no entry signs. Wild seas hurl paper boats onto the rocks. Thousands of buckled dustbin lids litter our mind. And then we calm. We gently caress the springs and the skins of resting beasts. They whisper, they kiss, they purr. We are in it, we are of it. Then it grabs us again. The turmoil, something wells up, something dark wells up. Arms flail about again, our legs, our feet, our backs are strong as a mad ox dancing. We bang, but not blindly, you understand, not random these storms. Rhythm as ancient as sin itself, grab us and hurl us about the place. We are at the whim of space and time. Subtle stops and starts are dictated by God knows what. Sudden rushes overtake, our hands respond in joy as our feet kick off. Mathematical equations are made and unmade like a numerical bed. Thousands of buckled dustbin lids and a roll in the thunder of heaven as a fine lady turns over in the clouds of her pillow and sings, "Hiya, kid," she shouts. "Bang those damn lids, my friend. Bang and bang like a boy in a yard, like there's no yesterday." Billy's prayer. Oh, Billy, sing it, Billy. Ah, Billy, sing it, Billy. We prepare ourselves for death. We are shit scared of dying.
We are shit scared of dying. We are not shit scared of dying.
We are not shit scared of dying. We do not prepare ourselves for death. Ah, Billy, sing it, Billy.
Ah, Billy, sing it, Billy.
We throw ourselves in your grave. We rub the dirt of your going in our eyes. We float ourselves in your song. We rub the balm of your being in the temples of our doom. Yeah, we throw ourselves in your grave. We rub the sorrow of your soul into that of our own. We rub the joy of our soul into that of our own. She came to us in a dream. Oh no, she cried, strange fruit hanging still, strange fruit hanging still. People stood around in rooms, it was so boring. All our lives we've been fighting it, and old ladies laugh at us shouting, "You've missed the boat, you've missed the boat." But we didn't want that boat, that floating bloomer that rolled on a wave of false hope. We stand now on this lonesome jetty with the cold sea in front of us and the barren land behind us. We are the children of these climes. We know what we are about. Only the mad offspring of the rocks could cope with this. We breathe the poetry of the poisoned air. We dance to the song of the tuneless chimes. The post-nothing generation, post-despair, post-blank, post-hopeless. It has gone so far into the void that it has fructified again. The flowers of arsenic in the buttonholes of our boiler suits. The flowers of arsenic arranged in our meagre water rations. The flowers of arsenic on our waiting coffins. The flowers of arsenic springing up around our smelly shelters. The flowers of arsenic growing on a lake of poison deep in our cave. We bear a strange fruit. We are not hanging from trees, but we are suffering in our way. Flowers of arsenic springing from our minds. We try to keep it quiet, to knuckle under, to go underground again and hide away. But flowers of arsenic have started sprouting in our words, in our deeds. Flowers of arsenic shooting up all over the place. They thought they'd killed the lakes in our souls. They thought they'd poisoned the souls in our lakes. But flowers of arsenic are beautiful and resilient. They grow in the dark, deep underground, a world of white flowers and hope, a new life. It's frightening the hell out of people. Like the flowers of the 60s, these flowers hold a power that is frightening, that intimidate, that threaten. Flower power, not in the hair, not anywhere, but in our weak minds. The true beauty of man will once again shine through. We must learn to understand what we can never understand. We must learn to acknowledge the need to comprehend what cannot be comprised. And by learning to grasp mentally the non-graspable, we must learn to truly run the human race again. We have made a mess of everything. We are ashamed. Earthlings, your house is not in order. Too ugly, too messy to receive visitors for tea and biscuits. Flowers of arsenic screaming from the mirrors. Flowers of arsenic in our bread and butter, making us unwell, poisoning our minds. Flowers of arsenic, thorns in our sleepless beds. Flowers of arsenic in our morning coffee and our nightcaps of wishful forgetfulness. Ah, you, our ancestors, look into our hearts, see into our souls, and know we don't want it to be like this. What? Were you just the same? Do you lie in guilt? What? You were just the same? You lie in guilt? We forgive you, and you forgive us, and we all forgive each other, but it changes nothing. The true beauty of man must once again shine through. You set out on a journey. You were young and fresh. You think you're going upwards towards the light, and so you were for a while. Upwards towards the light. But slowly, over the years, you realise that you are going down. Not up at all. But you stick with it. You know that the journey has gone bad. You know that the journey has turned sour. You know somewhere that you're going down, but you stick with it. And down you go to despair and beyond. Through the blues and beyond. Through dark thoughts and beyond. Through free jazz, concrete poetry and beyond. Deeper than Dada, sewer than surrealism, madder than Buddhism. Down, you jolly well go, and finally you level off. And for years you stay leveled off, stagnant and cold, miserable and lost on the plateau of reason, empty, forlorn, middle of the road, mediocre, middle class of the arts, self-hating, self-sick, fed up with art, sick of music, fed up with poetry, sick of society, fed up with love, sick of hatred, fed up with mankind, sick of philosophy, fed up with despair and sick of hope, fed up with worship and sick of non-worship, fed up with family, sick of loneliness, fed up with fear, sick of loneliness, fed up with politics and sick of media. But when the flowers of arsenic start to come, despite yourself they start to come. The flowers of arsenic, you can't believe it. Flowers of arsenic springing up all over the place. Flowers of arsenic brightening up your miserable cave. And although underground still and a long, long way from the sun, flowers of arsenic brighten your day. And you smile again. And you count the flowers as they spring forth. For we humans stick with it. We make our choice and we see it through to the flowers of arsenic. Some get there soon, some take a lifetime, but we all get there in the end. The flowers of arsenic are not the flowers that the mourners see. The flowers on our grave are the flowers of arsenic, 1,000,000 times more potent than lilies. The flowers that the dead see on their grave are the flowers that will warm their bones for 1,000,000,000 years. But these are dangerous blooms that lock us in our doom. Unless we flower with them and flourish as a species, we will perish. We grow as individuals into a kind of light and we are satisfied. We have escaped our personal gloom and we find a place and be absorbed, but in a society that we abhor. We find our place in a world of which we despair. Better to be confused maybe and lost than found in a lost world. Better to be confused maybe and lost than wise and ensconced in a kind of madhouse. So the flowers of arsenic turn on us that had wished to be our guide and succor. They poison the air as we inhale their perfume, aware that we have selfishly evolved, instinctively knowing that we kill their brethren. Beware the flowers that grow on a poison lake, for they turn on the plastic people. They melt two-faced smiles and benign masks. Beware ourselves, for the tree of mankind is distorted, wizened by our venom, and gnarled by false gods. Ah, Billy, strange fruit hanging still. Oh, Billy, strange fruit hanging still. And now we have to ask, did she exist? And if she did she sing? And if she did, was she part of the goodness? And if she did she go with it, the funny stuff? If she didn't, who sang those songs? If she wasn't part of the goodness, why not? And if she didn't go with the funny stuff, why not? We can't believe anything. History is a fairy story to give historians something to play with. We need honest and brave scholars delving into the dark past of man to find out what really happened. We need wise philosophers sorting out the now and the then and the when. We need responsible, brilliant scientists searching and searching ever onwards. We need brilliant, altruistic businessmen carefully nurturing the growth of us all equally. For between the past and the future lies the way. If the truth is the goal, we will grow. Ah, rubbish. What do we need? Who knows what will sort out this mess? Who knows? Planet Earth has more weeds than flowers, and the gardener has finished his dinner and he's walking down the garden path. Weed, flower pot man, Andy Pandy, here we go, looby-loo. Was there jazz? Was there blues? If not, what is this that we are dancing to? Is it real? Did she exist? If not, who sang those songs? If she didn't exist and she didn't die, and if she didn't die, she isn't dead, and if she isn't dead, she must still be alive, and if she's still alive, where is she? She couldn't sing under another name, we'd know her voice. If we passed her in the subway busking, we'd know it was her all right. If she was singing in a great hall and called Madam Fortnight, we'd know her, oh yes indeed. If she was cleaning a step as a young girl and humming to herself, we'd know it was her. Good morning, Miss Billy, we'd say. If she's still alive, we'll find her, and if she's dead, she lives in our hearts, and if she lives in the hearts of thousands and millions of people, how could she be dead? If you play one song on the radio and one song on the blaster at the same time and sing another of her songs in your head, you get awfully confused. You don't know anything anymore. It's nice, you know nothing, and there are hundreds of beautiful sounds everywhere mingling. We don't think, we daren't think, and there lie our graves. What covers the mistakes of mankind? The flowers of arsenic. What hides the mess we've made of our planet? The flowers of arsenic. Flowers of arsenic bringing us back home. Flowers of arsenic laid to our heroes, laid to the souls of our ancestors. And let us embrace the dead without a shudder, for there for the grace we go. There but for our life we lie. The quick and the dead are brothers in arms and legs. Love to the folk who would laugh at the moon whilst pissing in the dark forest. Love to those who would dare confront the universe in their pyjamas and back to bed scratching. Love to the brethren without breath or pulse who breathe life into these modern times. Love to the dead and love to the living, friends that we don't yet know in need, lovers who are yet to meet in our dreams and nightmare. Goodbye, great lady, accept if you will this bouquet of boys and joys. We place it on your stage. Don't cry for us, we are alive. Our knees hurt, our back hurt, our feet hurt. We have life, we have a kind of lift-off. We can breathe and move and eat. We can drink, so we drink to you. We can hear, so we listen to you. We can dream, so we dream of you. Finished? Finished.